Number 45, Clandestine by Entombed. Death metal band from Sweden, who are not melodic death metal. Before melodic death metal came out of Sweden, with the likes of At the Gates and In Flames and Dark Tranquillity and Arch Enemy, we had traditional death metal from Sweden in the form of Dismember and Entombed. Entombed, later, after this album, started doing the death and roll thing, which is shit. But on their first two albums, Left Hand Path and Clandestine, they were traditional death metal and traditional Swedish death metal, and they were good, very good. A lot of people love their sound. A lot of people love Left Hand Path, their debut, the most. For some reason I never connected with it quite as much as the first Entombed album I bought, which was Clandestine. The beginnings of something that might lead to melodic death metal later on this album. In that way I kind of feel it's a bit like Heartwork, in that it's an early form of melodic death metal, but it's not really an early form of melodic death metal. It is traditional death metal with some elements that would influence melodic. Anyway. But I love this album. Living Dead, great. Sinners Bleed, amazing. Sinners Bleed is one of my favourite tracks on here. I also love Chaos Breed and Crawl. Those are other two highlights. And Evelyn, the guitar solo in the middle, just, I love it. And I just love the overall sound of this. This sounds like, you know when you hear something that sounds like the perfect example of what a genre should sound like. This is like what you want, what you're looking for when you go for a certain type of music. I feel like when I delve into not just death metal but in extreme metal in general, I feel like Entombed come closest to what I sort of on some level are listening to. I get the same feeling about Opeth's Blackwater Park, by the way. But I feel like Entombed on Clandestine are getting close to what I'm looking for when I go for extreme metal. I sort of feel that way about Obituary's Cause of Death and Morbid Angels Blessed the Sick as well. But they feel much more what I'm looking for in death metal. But I feel like Entombed Clandestine, like with Opeth's Blackwater Park, it's what I'm looking for when I look for dark atmospheric metal of some kind. And it's a good album, I like it. Number 44! Iron Maiden's Seventh Son of a Seventh Son. The album where they brought keywords in. The album where they tried to make a concept album about the seventh son of a seventh son. And the forces of good and evil jostling over him, you know, trying to control him, trying to win him over to their side. Because he's so powerful. Sort of a concept album. Sort of bookended by this whole, like, 7 deadly sins, 7 ways to win, kind of folky, weird, minstrelly thing. But it's great. It's a great album. Moonchild, awesome song. Infinite Dreams, I loved that song when I was a teenager. I still think it's a pretty good song, and it doesn't get as much love as it should. Can I Play With Madness, single, everyone knows it. Kind of enjoyable. Kind of a bit throwaway. Evil McMendu, bit better. Another single. Seventh Son of a Seventh Son, the instrumental. The title track, largely instrumental. It does have lyrics at the beginning, but it does have a song part of it, but then it has a long extended guitar solo sound. And to be honest, it's the atmospheric bit in the middle. The atmospheric bit in the middle and then the big long guitar solo at the end, that is what makes it a fucking amazing song. Not so much the verse chorus bit of it. But hey, it's part of the story of the Seventh Son of a Seventh Son. Today is born the Seventh Son. Anyway, Prophecy. For some reason, people don't like the song much. I love the song. I love the whole, I warned you of this impending disaster, but you didn't believe me. Now the impending disaster come, you're blaming me for prophesizing it. And the whole, you know, the prophet, the holy man being turned on by the people sort of thing. I like the song. And then you've got this lovely little guitar-y bit, acoustic guitar-y bit in it, which I find really beautiful and atmospheric and lovely. Yeah, I like the song a lot, so I don't know why people don't like it. Clairvoyant, another single. Good lyrics and a kind of rockin' hard tune. I like it. Only the Good Die Young, the one at the end. I fucking love that song. Loved it as a teenager, love it now. All that, you know, end of the world kind of revelations in the Bible kind of stuff about the moon is red and bleeding, the sun is burnt and black. That's right from Revelations in the Bible. The book of life is silent. Again, this is from Revelation in the Bible. The book of life, you know, if you're one of the people that's going to be saved and go to heaven, your name will be on the book of life. So it says the book of life is silent. And then it's like no turning back. Only the good die young. This is the story of the seventh son, much like Jesus, I guess, offers himself, I mean, gives up and dies, you know. This is what the song's about. As someone raised religious, I see these elements and I go, whoa. And I love this album. I love this song on this album, particularly when I was a teenager. I was very Christian back then as well. And I used to love reading things like Revelations in the Bible. They were my favourite bits of the Bible. I like the apocalyptic weird stuff. Strange kid that I was. But so I totally connected with that song for that reason. And so yeah, Only the Good Die Young. And I love all that kind of, so I think I'll leave you with your bishops and your guilt. So until the next time, have a good sin. I get that Black Sabbath Into the Void vibe from this song of kind of like, you know, the world's full of sin and evil, it's fucked, I'm leaving it, I'm leaving, bye, I'm going somewhere else. This thing about it, so it's brilliant. Anyway, Seventh Son album, it's a great album. Number 43 is Marilyn Manson, Antichrist Superstar. Marilyn Manson, is it industrial metal? Gothic metal? Shock rock? I don't know, but he's on this list, and I mean, it's association there with Nine Inch Nails with Marilyn Manson, which is why I tend to go, it's industrial metal, and you do hear it on this album. You hear the industrial metal, the Nine Inch Nail-esque elements here and there on the album. Like I said, Nine Inch Nails aren't on this list because they're in the rock list instead. It's the kind of decision I came to about that. But Marilyn Manson ended up on the metal list because, to be fair, they're part of metal culture in such a massive way. I think they influenced some of the new metal acts like Slipknot, possibly. I think they sort of influenced Korn and Slipknot, maybe not. No, I don't know. But I just feel like I think they certainly influenced the new metal kids. But they often liked Marilyn Manson as well. And Marilyn Manson's much better. This is like art punk almost. This album, Antichrist Superstar, is the best Marilyn Manson album. The debut was quite good as well. I feel like after Antichrist Superstar he wasn't as good, so I really do feel this was his masterpiece, Antichrist Superstar. And of course it's got beautiful people on it, everyone knows that song, and it's an iconic song in the heavy metal community. Really, it certainly was in the 90s, an iconic metal song of the 90s. Beautiful people. Yeah, it's not proper metal, it's like this gothic flavoured industrial metal thing, but it's actually sort of art in a way. I mean, it's an album that has a kind of theme, it's a concept album, it has a story and a theme to it about a rock musician who makes a deal with the devil or something to get inordinate fame and power, and then it kind of eats him up from within, sort of thing. And it's great, and there's loads of good songs on it. They're really great songs. They're full of just different elements and repeating motifs throughout the album in different songs, you know, and stuff like that. And different elements all tied together in the songs. Quite an interesting, artful way, really. Especially in the middle section of the album, like Little Horn, Crypt Orchid, Deformography, Worm Boy. Some of these songs are very interesting and experimental and weird, and I just like them. But they rock as well. And the lyrics are funny, the dark, twisted, weird lyrics about demonic possession of a rock star sort of thing. I've found other layers of meaning in before. Around the time when I actually thought I was gay for a little while. I'm trans, I was barking up the wrong tree really, but there was a time when I was feeling like coming out about who I was, and where I realised I was unhappy in my marriage and unfulfilled in my marriage, and I thought I was gay at the time, turns out I'm trans, but same difference, you know. I have this weird, I'm queer, yes. So it's like coming to terms with uncomfortable truths about yourself. Some of the lyrics in some of the songs, particularly in the middle section of the album, really seem to resonate with me in that regard, to be honest. I think particularly Deformography and Worm Boy. But there's great songs there. Mr. Superstar, much like Eminem's Stan, seems to be really wrestling with the whole kind of obsessive fan thing who might kill you because they want you, and or kill themselves because they want you too much or whatever, and the whole pornographization and idolization of fame, of rock stars, of people with in the public eye that we look up to. It really does seem to wrestle with some of the themes, and I find that quite good, really. Angel with Scab Wings, about drugs, really hard drugs. But and then you got the whole Antichrist Superstar stuff at the end, like 1996, Minute of Decay. And then it all starts going, yeah. But it's a great album. I mean, it is quite lyrically quite deep. It is quite artful and quite innovative and quite a good album. I feel like Marilyn Manson gets treated like this fake, gimmicky kind of person sometimes, or just this shocker. He just likes to shock people. No. I think people don't realise sometimes the artistry that goes into his work, and I think Antichrist Superstar is a very good demonstration of what is good about Marilyn Manson and why a lot of people like his music and appreciate what the art that he's creating, and it is art. So number 42 is Ministry, Psalm 69. This is definitely an industrial metal album. It's got the thrashy guitars, it's got the pounding drum machines. It's much more accomplished than Mine is a Terrible Thing to Taste, although that's also a brilliant album. This of course has famous songs by Ministry such as NWO and which stands for New World Order, and Just One Fix, which is about heroin addiction, and it's brilliant, and Jesus Built My Hot Rod, which is a bit trashy and throwaway, and I don't really like it much, to be honest. But songs on here, other than those ones, like the whole TV 15, I think it's called, which is basically ranting against televangelists, and Hero, which is basically ranting about war and how we don't. How our war veterans are treated as disposable and not really treated well, sort of thing. And it's all, you know, anti-establishment, anti-conformity kind of vibe that Ministry are into anyway. And they're very good. They're a very good, very cutting, very good band in many ways, Ministry. Again, I don't think they necessarily always get the props they deserve for some reason. And there's some great songs like Scarecrow, which seems to me to be about the way junk is used as this big don't do drugs kids. So when, you know, how does that make them feel that they're used in that way? And I feel like Scarecrow is about that. I might be completely barking up the wrong tree there, but to me it feels like that's what that song's about. And of course you've got the track Psalm 69 with its rather crude, vulgar, anti-Christian and taking the piss out of Christians kind of feel to it, but it's a very cool song. And they do this kind of cutting, sarcastic kind of thing about Christianity as well. I think there's a song called Grace, which is saying, it seems to be pointing out the hypocrisy of the Christian message about this, because it's all like, you know, Armageddon, Judgment Day, blah blah blah, and with all this screaming of people, because like, you know, the death and destruction of the apocalypse and everything, you know what I mean? And yet it's called Grace. But that's Ministry for you. They're very clever and very sarcastic, and they've got a message and they put it forward in a very clever and cheeky way sometimes. I think irreverent and cutting, poignant way sometimes, and I think they're brilliant for that. Anyway, number 41, Iron Maiden's Peace of Mind. A classic Iron Maiden album with lots of great Iron Maiden songs like The Trooper, Flight of Icarus, Die With Your Boots On, Revelations, Still Life, a bunch of great tracks on there. Where Eagles Dare, the opener, awesome. And this is classic Maiden. It's a classic Maiden life line-up. Before they went too progressive, or before they had keyboards, when they still had a raw heavy metal sound to them, traditional heavy metal sound to them. They're not too progressive yet, although To Tame a Land is pretty progressive. You know, they're certainly not employing keyboards or anything yet. And they've got their classic lineup now. They've got Nico McBrain on this album for the first time. That's completely in the classic lineup of Bruce Dickinson, Steve Harris, Dave Murray, and Nico McBrain. And yet they're still raw, traditional, punchy metal. And it's a great album with lots of great Iron Maiden songs. So yeah. And that's it for this instalment. So see you for the next one. Thanks for watching.